Hey everybody, I'm so happy to see you. I'm Suzanne Zippel. Please do me a favor, hit subscribe.
Hello, welcome. I'm glad to see you. I am going to be painting a butterfly on and recorded here today. So I wanted to show you right there what it looked like in my kitchen. So the finished one and then the reference photo. So here we are. I sped up the video 3 times. And here's a photo of the different colors that I used. I'll be reading them to you. It's titanium white, quinacridone magenta, Indian yellow hue, primary cyan, carbon black, burnt sienna, primary yellow, yellow gold, verd or gold, green gold, there we go, and also the nickel azo gold. This time I started out first painting the butterfly, and I used the Indian yellow hue from Golden. I used the medium body paint, not the fluid one. That you can see it in the way that it actually is going onto the canvas. It's a little thicker, a little more plastic. Okay, so I am just basically sketching it up, knowing that yellow is a nice light color. I can go ahead and do whatever I need to do to cover later. So, go. I'm using the Filbert number 10, one of my favorite brushes. You'll notice that the paint, the color of the yellow is not uniform, and I really like that because that gives much more life as we keep going. You'll see that. So adding a little here and there. I'm cleaning my brush there. That was the carbon black. That's titanium white. Mixing a nice light gray for the body, center. And so I'm using a little of the yellow and the black to make a not quite completely black color for the wings. I just want to make sure that I can go back and make it darker as I need to and work with the different variations. And so one way of doing that is to just not take completely black, but to add a little yellow to it. It gives a nice not quite graphic, but maybe a natural look to it. And then I'm making the dark around the wings here, as you can see. So it was a little bit a fun way of sketching it in, taking and visualizing, oh, okay, approximately that large for the orange of the wings and that shape, and then drawing in the black afterwards. Many times I think I'd be starting with doing the outline completely of the black, but there is that tendency that once you have the darker color put down, it's very unforgiving. Can't really take it back from there. The yellow, the light colors, you can always paint over as you need to. Decided to make that a little longer wing. I'm starting to make filigree inside of the wings. Darkening up the center of the body there. Now I decided that I needed a much finer brush, so I take my detail brush, go that. Using the mix of the yellow with a little more black to it. Now working on the gray. Okay. So as I go along, I fill in and make the yellow go all the way up to the edge of the black, or make the black be larger, whichever one looks right at any given moment. I am paying attention to the general shape of the butterflies. I call it filigree. The way that you see the dark and the light in the wings. And they are very, very see-through and they're very beautiful. I think everybody can agree on that. How beautiful they are, these butterflies. The monarch butterfly. I hope you like my choice of music. I actually found out, I'm very proud of myself. I found out that if I go to YouTube Music Library, they have classical music that I can use. And it's royalty free and so forth. So that's wonderful. I do love classical music. It's very uplifting. I chose the ones that I liked. Brandenburger and so forth. I find it easy to work with classical music in the background. I enjoy that. So, as you can see, keep on painting and making the little outlines of the butterfly. And the music that's playing right now is called Mongrel Dance. I don't know much about it other than I found it in the library there and I thought it sounded very pretty. Next one we're going to go into is Ode to Joy, which is Beethoven's. So, enjoy that. Heute schöne Götterfunken. Okay, I'm still working with a tiny brush. I'm making sure to not just draw a straight line. As you can see, it's a little fuzzy, but it makes it more organic looking. And it's a nice way of drawing. I enjoy it. I do that a lot. So as you could see, I was working a little bit on making the white markings on the wings. That is titanium white, and I'll have to go over it a few times, I believe, to make it really stand out. The usual of covering darker color with a lighter color, but titanium white does the job. You just sometimes need to do it, repeat it a few times just to get the layer to be thick enough. And then I'm making the little tiny dots on the outside. There's like a little white outline as well, so I'm putting that in too, I believe. It's very intricate. You really get to learn a lot about the different critters that you're painting when you're doing it this way, up close and personal. It's very enjoyable. Very enjoyable indeed. Sorry about my hair. Sometimes when I really have to focus and get closer, my head gets in the way. So the music was called Two Seasons by Dan Bodan, and then we're going to have number 1 minor waltz coming up. So the second row, or closest row to the orange, is more gray. On our reference photo, it doesn't show extremely clearly, but there is actually a gray tonality to the second row, so that's why I'm working on that. Just mixing a little tiny bit of dark in there. And I'm sorry, I apologize for moving around. Sometimes my leg bumps into the table that I'm sitting on and working on, which is a beautiful old wooden table with the cutest curvy legs and everything, and I just painted it completely black. I found it in a garage. Somebody had been using it to, probably have it get used to drilling holes in it and whatnot, and it's definitely not a piece that I would sell as an antique or buy as an antique, but as a found object and a piece with personality. I'm enjoying it very much. So that's the black background that you see there that I'm working on. And then some of my paints, some brushes, my glasses. That's the holder for my glasses, that square box at the top there. Oh well. So you can see that it's really changed a lot. It looks a lot more like a Monarch. Our eye sees it very expressive because of the black and the white there. It's what we're used to really seeing on a butterfly, or Monarch butterfly. And I'm sorry for moving the table around whenever it happens. It is not your equipment. It is just the leg of the table. Just me. And if you give this video a thumbs up, it actually helps a lot, and even make a comment. It is very wonderful. You can head over to Patreon to pull down the traceables. And I still haven't figured out how to get the traceables to stick onto YouTube. So yeah, that's the easiest for now. And that's the I'm sitting and waving my hands around here. I must have been a bee or something, or a bug. I don't know. I don't know what I was talking about there. Sorry. So I'm adding more details to the body, adding the white spots, the lighter areas. I am waiting to put the antenna on until I have the background done, because it just does not make any sense to do it that way. Otherwise, I'd have to paint it over again and again and again. Okay, still using the very fine brush, very detailed. This is a 10 by 10 canvas, so yeah, small brushes are in order. Not like painting a mural. You could certainly take and make this to be a mural, and that would be gorgeous. I've seen some very beautiful ones. But this is just a tiny one, 10 by 10. Ugh, it's moving again. Look, look, look. Sorry. Okay, so that's the part of the hind body, the back body of the butterfly. Has some outlines on it, and I realized to the very end that it needs to have just a little more golden touch to it, and that's where I used the nickel gold. I'm just saying that now because I'm not 100% sure that I actually have that on the video, but anytime that you feel like you need to make something a little bit darker, that nickel gold is fantastic. I'm also adding more, when you're looking at the wings, the two sets of wings, the top wings are a more red tonality, more deep golden, and to do that I just take and brush over a little bit of the quinacridone magenta, and then basically it's playing with the background from when I'm done with the butterfly, and I just make sure to have lots of undefined color so that it is attractive but not what your eye will go to. I want the eye to go to the butterfly and then feel like it's a beautiful butterfly in a green forest, and that's why I work with the lights and the darks of the greens. You'll see. And what I did right there was that I added a little bit of white to areas that I thought needed to be just a little bit lighter. I'm gonna let that dry, and as it dries, I go back and put more of the yellow on top, the Indian yellow hue. So, as you can see, I am using the tip of the filbert brush. It is nice in that it gives the possibility of variation now that I know where I want the lines to be a little more. And I am making lighter and darker with the filigree lines, and I'm also sitting there and thinking about exactly how I'm going to be painting this apparently. Going in and now using the fine brush for making some of the darker lines between. I wanted that spot to be just a little smaller than it was. There we go. I'm gonna come back and do a little final talk, but pretty much just, there really isn't much else to explain here. You can see that it is very much more distinct than it was before, and that's partially because of making the lines darker in the filigree on the wings, and just kind of going over and making it all be a little more expressive. And now I'm starting on the background. I'm going to try and speed that up. I'm mostly using the green gold at this point and yellow primary, just mixing those together, and you'll see how I just keep blending it and making it look just right. That, of course, is a preference on whether or not it's right. Oh, that's primary blue mixed in. So there's a picture of the finished butterfly, the Monarch, and the light down here in the studio, and then another one right here, up close and outside, where we took the picture outside. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did painting it, and keep painting. Hey, hey.